Welcome back. Whoa, we got a little side slide there. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to hey, it's Friday. We're not live streaming. Sometimes people coerce and cajole me to doing things. So if you're watching this right now, you'll notice the early upload. If you're watching this right now, I should be at Proline by the Fire. I'm probably alive. So this is the update for the 20th of September in the year of our Lord 2024. So I thought, hey, are you obsessive compulsive? And I was like, yeah. We can't have a Friday go by where we don't upload a video. Also, just a side note that means nothing to anyone, but it's a fun little tidbit anyway. I missed the stream, if you'll recall, for what would it have been? What's 13 minus 7? 6. For September 6th, because I was away. I guess September is the month when I go away. I was at my son's birthday. We were in Laughlin, and I didn't live stream. Up till that point, we had live streamed every week for something like 26 weeks, 28 weeks, something like that. And I am now constantly on my channel dashboard getting a pop-up from YouTube that says, if you added just one live stream a week, you could earn this much. I took one YouTube. I wasn't home for 1 week. If I had confidence in the cellular network, I would try to stream from Proline by the Fire. I do not. For those who have never, I'm gonna do some recording. I tried to get rid of this and nobody wants it, so it's gonna go in my. Oh man, we can give you a little insight in how the things are gonna go, because I hope to upload some content afterwards. I don't know how thorough it's gonna be. I've kind of been taking the week off. I'm kind of gonna take those 2 days off. I'm gonna drive rock crawlers around, and I'm maybe not gonna go into content creation that much. At least that's how I feel right now. My feelings might change when I get there. Well, when you're watching this, I'll be there. So right now, as you're experiencing this, I'll be experiencing a different thing that I'm experiencing now, which is what you're experiencing now. So we'll see how those are they this or are they this? I don't know. We'll find out. I have got this. This is a point of pride. I have had this for a long time. This is a tackle box. It's beautiful. You go like this, none of the drawers open. It's so good. You carry it by the handle, none of the drawers open. You go like this. It's like a toolbox, right? It's a lift and lock. I don't know if these still exist. I got it so long ago. And outgrew it. Something heavy fell on it and cracked the lid. Of course, that opens. Fit your chargers in there, fit everything in there. This is not a sales pitch for lift and lock. As I said, I don't even know if you can still get them. I spent a good probably 90 minutes yesterday cleaning this out so that it could be my transport box, because I will bring the belt, the suspenders, another belt, and 2 more pairs of suspenders in case the first pair of suspenders snaps. Because I drive right over there. If you follow an invisible laser, wait, we can make technology. Let's see if I can line this up right. If you were to follow an invisible line that turns into a visible line, if you were to say it's right over there. Oh, you can't see the beam. That's not fun. If you were to follow an invisible line, if you were to follow an invisible line about 100 feet right over there, you would find the place that I drive. Anything happens, there's the first aid station. You've seen it hanging on the wall. I can fix things. Anything that happens worse than that, well, there is this. There's all that. There's all the stuff behind me. There's tools. It's a real comfort zone. I have a comfort zone within a comfort zone. Now I have to go to the desert. I'm in the desert right now. And I have to take things with me. And it fills me with a trepidation because the glass is perpetually half empty. So something gonna break. Something that has never broken is gonna break. And I'm hoping that if I put those negative waves out into the universe, that the universe will have time to cancel them out in betwixt now and then. So we have to get something in. I'm going to load this first thing tomorrow morning. I'll load this in my future, your past. I've got my rig selection picked out, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be 3, we're just going full truggy on the day. We're going to take Argentum, this gentleman right here. Y'all know him well. You haven't seen him in a minute. If you haven't seen him in a minute since he ran out at Mavericks, because Argentum is fully lit. He's got headlights, he's got roof lights, he's got rock lights. He is, no pun intended, ready to rock. He's also a consistent performer, and I don't really have any worries about anything going wrong. Will I still be taking things like a spare set of tires and wheels and etc.? Well, yeah, 1,000%. But I know they have a bunch of night courses that go on, at least from what I've seen on the internet. So this guy is an obvious choice. The second choice was maybe not as obvious, and I don't know why, because it should have been. As invariably, if anybody asks me the question, if you had to make this Sophie's choice and it was just one, they don't even get all the way. The answer is always Daphne. So it's not a Sophie's choice, it's a Daphne's choice. What I'm gonna do, maybe here in this intervening period, because I was looking at her and I was thinking, maybe all I need to drive in the dark really is rock lights. So if I have rock lights, we are good to jam. I'm thinking, does she have space to, like, if I can get some rock lights, I have some little low profile ones, if they will fit under her fenders and up under there and point straight down, amazing. So she might get lights on her. If not, we have the fallback that he's full of lights. And trick number 3, I think I kind of chose yesterday of my yesterday, your day before yesterday. Curtis Knudsen, the man from Instagram, who paints the bodies, who just complicates my life, basically, in the best possible way, because when anybody sees Lolo's body, they go, oh, that body is amazing. And I go, well, then, yeah, hit him up on Instagram and buy one. So he was here on his way to go to Proline. Your now, my future, his future. We will see each other. We will see each other there. He came down and he, as threatened, painted the body for the as of yet not officially named Mias Gold Chassied fella. And look at it. Look at it with your eyes. It is outstanding. It's so good. It's so good. And I'm glad that I didn't waste my time and your time trying to paint it myself. Another channel member came by, dropped off the parts. They had just done the full brass regalia to their VRD and dropped all of their stock VRD plastics. So what did I do? I threw on the Mias axle diff covers that I had, threw on all the VRDs. Look how, I mean, it's elegant. It's clean and it's elegant. And in case you forgot, Mias is just elevating the game with their $50 beadlocks. And, oh, he's a good looking boy. So these are the trio. I'm gonna fiddle with both. I was digging through the bin below the desk that says LEDs and fans, I think is what it says on it. And I'm gonna see what I can fit LED wise on this gal and this fella. If I can't get any on there, so be it. I mean, this thing is definitely not getting a roof bar, and neither is Daphne, because they will just get destroyed. So I don't know. Like I say, rock lights are basically all I need. I have a headlight around here that I need to locate, and I need to place in the previously viewed lift and lock box, because they were like, it's the desert. And I was like, I know the desert is dark. So it runs on 18650s. A lot of my transmitters run on 18650s. So I will take so many extra batteries that you're going to think I've been stranded on a desert island. It's a thing that I can't avoid. I can't get away from. So to make this into a thing, so to make this into something other than just me rambling for a few minutes about my future and your past, let's put everybody away. Oh, they get progressively heavier. They are definitely 3 separate weights. What we'll do is, since the last one of these, when I walked around with the gimbal and forgot to turn on image stabilization and it was very shaky, the course has not changed at all. Like, I raked some leaves, and then fall hit harder and more leaves fell, so it's more leafy than it was before. So what we'll do instead is we'll do Wednesday on a Friday. I know you've missed it. I know that you have. Right over there, out of eyesight and barely in earshot, it's a Friday, and we're going to spin the wheels. And then we're going to hope that one or more of these is charged. And we'll go on and drive a little bit, and then I'll be like, tune in next time and do your best. And we'll do that. So with that, we spin the wheels and we'll meet you out where the rocks live. Let me just begin by saying, look at that. I mean, what a place to be. Am I right? Like, it's pretty good. Diablo, Ancient Kingdom. There's the sign just there. Ancient Kingdom, for those who don't remember. One of the very first, all of the early obstacles at Deadline, at the canyon. Let me just rattle off some names and you see if you can detect like something thematic. Ancient Kingdom, Precious Stones, Drybone Valley. Right behind me, Sleeping Giant. Are any of these clicking? Leviathan. Yeah, I'm a Mastodon fan. I love me some Mastodon, some Brondaler. We've got a lot of obstacles. Then we started to kind of run out of applicable. So there are other song names. We've got Anomaly and Oblivion and Undertaker, Upbeats. This is a tougher line than would immediately be exhibited. Also, I'd like to point out that this side is Ancient Kingdom. The other side of this obstacle is Precious Stones. There's some like petrified wood and stuff over in there. Those obstacle names, their state park signs are like 12 feet apart. And we are like right over there. You can see just over there in the corner, right there. That's Slick Rock, right? So we've got some names that are pretty tight in together because I am sitting right here next to the pond, desperately trying not to be poked by the Palo Verde tree that's growing out from the water here. And then right behind us is Sleeping Giant. The sign is 2 feet away from me. The intention from the beginning was never to dive too deep into madness. We were never planning on building the entire yard, turning it into a crawler course. It just sort of happened. I like to say that a buddy of mine incepted me because he was looking at what had been built so far and he was like, wouldn't it be great if the thing just kind of went all the way around and once you've heard it, you can't unhear it. It's there. I can't get rid of it. So yeah, it goes all the way around now. So where you are right now from this camera position, Teardrop is, I don't know, 80 feet away. Roots Remain is probably over 100 feet away. It's fairly big. If there was a place that I was going to sit and just hang out, this spot right here is not bad. This is pretty okay. Especially on a beautiful overcast morning. Perfect for filming, perfect for crawling. Yee! A little wide, but in my defense, I have never driven that line looking at it from this side. So that's something. This was a section that I was initially building. These are some of my earliest obstacle building attempts. The bridge, you can see just a little bit of the rope bridge there back behind the pagoda, was one of the very first things that was ever put in. The obstacle here, the combo of Ancient Kingdom and Precious Stones is basically the culmination, the ultimate expression of not having technique developed yet. So, the core, what is underneath this? There's not a huge amount of amplitude. It's probably 2.5 feet tall at the tallest point. It is solid cinder blocks underneath. The crack on the ground is where two concretes meet, and then the tree, which has been getting more water than ever, deciding let's just undo all that has been done. So this obstacle is solid. This obstacle contains, not conservatively, enough material to make 3 more obstacles. But I just knew I wanted a stream and I had to have a waterfall. Yeah. And it was built at a time that, I mean, legit, the Canyon fleet was probably
4 vehicles at the time. So what was difficult the definition of what is difficult has kind of changed. That was a fairly steep wall. The wall on Slick Rock is probably similar in size, maybe a little smaller in the amplitude there. You just get a little weight transfer, let that top tire hook. We're trying to get that tire to hook. A little speed goes right over it. These are the score cling inserts in the ruptures. One of the best things you can do for your rupture, because the inserts are shorter and fatter, and they basically turn a rupture into a class 2. You can see looking at that rear tire, nice and low, nice and wide, really squares off the shoulder. I know a lot of people cosmetically have a problem with ruptures because of that rounded shoulder. My problem with ruptures tend to be that in some situations, and by some I mean often, the squared off shoulder not being present gives you like a weird sort of behavior. Not so much on like the 575s. The 575s don't have that much of a problem at it, but the 19s really suffer from that rounded shoulder. I'm trying to double wall it here. Let me try and approach a little more. Yeah, let's try it right here. I don't know if we'll have the clearance. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I oft forget how good the breakover is on him. Whee! I think I can make this vert right here. Yeah, if the side hill wasn't a problem, the breakover on that's not going to be a problem either. He's got so much unsprung weight. This was the guy that we got into the sort of long-term self-debate over how much axle weight is too much axle weight. We did answer the question of how much rotating mass is too much rotating mass, because these are the brass, these are the solid brass. It was brass ring, brass inner, brass outer, brass everything, and the wheel with no tire or insert mounted is something like 270, 280 grams. The full combos tending to come in around 450, I want to say. So it was 1.8 kilo in wheel and tire, and it really slowed everything. So the good part is when you're spending all that money on those brass wheels, we basically distributed them. The Canyon distribution system went into effect. And these have aluminum center rings, they have aluminum hubs, so they're just brass inner and brass outer, and it got the weight to be like perfect. They're about 260 grams per corner with the 3D printed inserts, and they suit him extraordinarily well. We did, however, he was on a little pancake 3625, might have been a 3630 Outrunner, and it wasn't doing it. It was not doing it. He's on a 35. Honestly, I don't remember if he's on a 3532 or a 3542. But that little thing, you could not do this. Like, the drag brake on this is, you notice no tires are rotating. We're just sliding by gravity. The other one, it would be like that right about there. That's what the drag brake looked like. So we definitely found the point where there was rotating mass that was just obviously overwhelming the ability of the motor to hold it. And speed controls, they don't like that. They don't like that too much. This guy is, of course, the guy that is running off of the little CT-01. So I'll cover the lights. It has a very, I don't know, does it remind anyone else of Star Wars? I don't know. I feel like Star Wars whenever I say the CT-01. There is the postage stamp. Very clear, though. There's the postage stamp for it. Why does it say, oh, like, okay, see the battery display? Does that mean full or empty? Okay, no, that is the battery. Oh, it doesn't have, this thing has telemetry, but it's not installed. It has the LDARC, is that O2? The LDARC oxygen telemetry system. It is annoying, and setting endpoints, if you've never set the endpoints on a CT-01, you can't set them in real time. You have to, if that makes any sense. You have to set the endpoint and then come out of the menu, and then it will show you where your endpoint setting is. So setting your endpoint takes a little bit longer than some other things, but it's not terrible. And basically, once you've installed a servo and set your endpoints, how often do you have to go back and set your endpoints? Usually you don't. So I don't consider it to be anything. It is an 8-channel radio, but aside from like doing things like turning on and off lights or operating a winch, I really consider this to be like a 3-channel controller. I couldn't see myself filling all 8 channels. And also, the number one for the CTO one for me is that like my hand legitimately doesn't fit. It gives me I get the red coming in the palm. It gives me a little pressure point on it. And actuating those, and you would say, what do you mean by those? Most controllers, I can't do this. So that is not a failing explicitly of the radio. That is a failing of having the hands of a Lowlands gorilla. But you have to play the hand you're dealt. No, the pun intended. So here we are. Here's the thing. I have stuff that I need to do. Every day is just filled with stuff. There's so much stuff that need to be done. You get the overload, where you're like, I'll do this, and then nothing gets done. I came out to the shop. I mentioned it on the Discord to install LEDs a couple days ago. Yeah, those LEDs still aren't installed. That's how that works. That is exactly how it works around here. The fact that anything gets done, the fact that I put out videos is as amazing to me as it might be to anyone else. So it is the perfect sort of environment for weather, for everything. I'm going to try a real low one. This is rollout stuff if the wheels aren't this heavy. No, he's really having no issue with it. And he's got big breakover. That's the cut. The first time up, I didn't quite have the cut, but I'm usually, camera 2 is off out of frame over there. You've been seeing a lot of shots from camera 2. Ordinarily, I'm sitting exactly where camera 2 is. So this was kind of a personal test of, can I operate this from the opposite position? And I guess so. I mean, also, it's an older obstacle. It's an older meme, but it checks out. It's not quite at the difficulty level that we would use to test a fella like Diablo. But you know what I've done amazingly and expressively? I have confined the recording of this little brief Wednesday on a Friday for all of y'all to Ancient Kingdom, which is basically from the sign to the pagoda to the tree and back. Imagine like a trapezoid that fills that out. That's the size of this obstacle. And I think, I don't know, I've got some like stone, I've got some slates, I've got some little bits of rock. The thing that it's making me think about more than anything else is maybe we need to glue some more rocks under the rocks that are currently glued there. Maybe right here, here's what I'm thinking. Follow me along here. Right where this lift up here is, this little wall. See, it's tough, but there's a shuttle spot. And if I shuttle to that spot or give it a tiny little bump, we can generally breach it. That breach is too easy. So what I would like to see, I'm filing this in a mental database that is accessible only through ahas. Like one day I'll just be like, there it is. And I'll have a bucket of mortar in my hand because I'll be working on something else. I'll grab the paintbrush, I'll slap some adhesion compound down right where the driver rear tire is. Just a little rock. Just a little rock glued on right there. So when you try to do that bump move, it shoots you off to one side because I love any obstacle that makes you regret your decisions, makes you second guess anything you might be doing in the future. That's my wheelhouse. That's where I like to live. So this is great. Diablo hasn't been out in a minute. He'll be up soon-ish on Wheel and Wednesday. The deadlines, we've got, I think there's only going to be 10 installments unless we do a visitor garage run at deadline as well. I love the nice pacing of deadline that we're running at. And There is the potential possibility. I'm not making any promises. We're talking about a Wednesday in a version of a Wednesday on a Friday. I'm not making any promises, but there is the potential possibility that we could throw in a week or two of running 6 rigs, because not having to move tripods, not having to set cameras, I can't express to you how much time it saves, how much faster it is, how much more flow there is. Everybody was like, oh, the audio was great, the video was great, everything was great. Yeah, because a second set of hands doesn't reduce the workload by half. It reduces the workload by like 75%. All I basically had to do was drive and talk, and I do that. Mostly the talking, but drive and talk I can kind of swing. I can't drive, talk, and record, which is why you live in a tripod world together with all of us. So we'll see what the future, the real installments of Wednesday hold. I genuinely, I wish I did. I don't know why. This is an apology that I think very few people ever have to offer. I don't have a rant today. I'm sorry that I don't have a rant today. It is a fantastical morning. Right now, as you watch this, I am at Proline at Horseman's Park, and I'm hoping, with everything that I've got, everything available to hope, I am hoping that that is as reasonably as good of a time as this right now. And my gosh and my golly, that is a tough ask. Because let me move my bucket a little, and we'll swing just a little bit.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
It could be worse, man. One of my life's quotes. I know that we have the triumvirate, Marie Kondo atop the pyramid. I feel like that lyric from the Joe Walsh song comes up often. It's not happening now, but I can't complain, but sometimes I still do. Life's been good to me so far. This is one of those moments. I wish there was enough room. I'm like completely blocking the passageway here. If there was enough room to put like a nice Adirondack chair, if you didn't know where I was, this is where you'd find me. This is pretty strongly okay. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you're having a at least pretty strongly okay day or better. If you're not, grab one of these of choice. Just go out and find a rock and just drive over it. It's pretty good. If you've got a pond or a creek or a stream to go near, something about that sound. That's that white noise, man. It's all good out here. It's all good. And it's made all that much better by having you here with me in spirit. I thank you so much for joining me here in the canyon. We didn't move a camera angle because I didn't feel like it. What a beautiful day. So off to Valhalla. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in the comments, on the Discord, in the live streams, in whatever comes next. Again, I apologize this week for no live stream, but y'all did this. Y'all were like, oh, you got to go to Proline by the Fire. So now I'm at Proline by the Fire, so there's not a live stream right now, and it's all your fault. There you go. That is victim blaming. We will certainly have a live stream next week. We'll be back on the live. We'll see how the streaming setup holds up that week. We'll see how I hold up this weekend. Hopefully we'll have some content during the week from that. We'll see you back at Deadline. We'll see you in all the places in between now and when I meet you again. Please, one and all, do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. We will see you again here from the canyon. And look at this, perfectly situated for a drive out. And he didn't roll it. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. Okay. All right. Till next time, everybody. Y'all have a good one. He's going to be halfway back to the shop. And nice.